Hello, my wonderful viewers, and welcome to another episode of Betty Adams Overanalyzes. Today, we're going to take a look at just a short look at a little thought that I had referencing Kaiju number 8. As you do, I was going over the earlier chapters in my head, pondering over what happened to Kafka, how the little kaiju bug crawled inside him, and what happened immediately after. And my brain was happily chewing over this, and it went over that scene where Kafka and Ichikawa are racing down the streets to get away from the defense force immediately after the transformation, and Kafka switches into a special mode, as Reno puts it. You've got tentacles coming out of the legs, the fingers are disjointed, but his head's cocked over to the side, and coming out of the top of his head is a little ghost-like body. It looks kind of like the bottom one that's sprouting from his neck looks kind of like the polluted river monster from Spirited Away. And there's another one on top of that, and another one on top of that. And then we get a side view of it, and there's a little mouse that's screaming, "Ah!" And the little hands are trying to form. Then, immediately after that, you see the secondary kaiju mouth pop out of its head, pop out of Kaiju number 8's mouth, alien style, stretch out several yards away and grab a crow off of a power line and eat it alive. So then he transforms back to the Kaiju number 8 form, and the story proceeds apace. So what was happening here? Well, I had a thought. One of the things that I've always wondered from the beginning was this outcome, the formation of Kaiju number 8, the goal of the little bug kaiju, if it had a goal and wasn't just following basic programming like a machine. So and we've seen that the little bug kaiju is capable of speaking and thinking, at least in short sentences. So that's a good evidence that it did have intentions, that it had a plan, that it had a goal. And we have no idea that the formation of Kaiju number 8 was its ultimate goal. We think it wants to kill kaiju, if that wasn't just something it absorbed from Kafka. And we think that it has nothing against humanity. But we don't really know any of that. But looking at this scene and kind of pushing our assumptions to the side, it really, really looks like this scene, and let's see, that's chapter 2, page 13, the top panel. It looks like the little kaiju bug is attempting to escape Kafka's body, which of course raises the question, why would it go into Kafka's body in the first place if all it wanted to do was immediately escape? But the wobbly fingers, the tentacle legs, that seems to be the kaiju losing control and Kafka not being able to control the body as the kaiju tries to escape out of the back of Kafka's neck. And then we see the distressed little kaiju screaming down there at the bottom of the page. Then the mouth reaches out and gathers mass. So this kind of feeds into my side theory that Kafka needs to be feeding the Kaiju number 8 body. And that the fact that Kafka isn't directly feeding the Kaiju number 8 body, but is only eating in his human form, is why the Kaiju number 8 body has had to start feeding from the human form. That's what happened to the fat of his dad bod, and then the skin and muscle on his hand, as we saw at the end of the more recent chapters. So that side theory is that the energy used by the Kaiju number 8 body is too much for the Kaiju form alone to support, and the Kaiju form is having to draw energy from the human form to provide the energy for those fantastic attacks and the regeneration for the defense. But that being aside, here's what I'm thinking. It really genuinely looks like, if we go with this theory, that the kaiju did not intend to stay merged with Kafka, whatever the purpose of merging with Kafka was in the first place. Maybe it needed to confirm something, maybe it needed to give Kafka a gift of some sort, But here in chapter 2, it does look like the kaiju is trying to escape the shared body. Maybe the idea was to give Kafka the ability to transform and then leave. Maybe the idea was to change something in Kafka to allow for better communication between kaiju and humans. We don't know at this point. We think that the little guy, that little bug kaiju, wants to kill kaiju. We think he might have a goal of protecting humans, or at least is indifferent to humans. But looking back at this scene, just this one scene, in the larger context, this one scene in chapter 2, it does look like the little kaiju bug was trying to escape the shared body of kaiju number 8. So what do you think, my wonderful viewers? Do you think there's any reality to this concept that the little kaiju never intended to stay merged with Kafka? Maybe Kafka's 0% compatibility prevented him from doing what he intended to do? Maybe the little guy was just starving and hungry and hadn't had a bite to eat in too long. What do you think? What is this scene about? What are those little ghost images trying to escape and screaming in stress coming off the back of Kafka's neck? Tell me what you think in the comments below. Hit that like and subscribe button, and peace out, my wonderful viewers. Humans are weird. We took a vote, and humans are weird. I have the data. 2 books in a series of human absurdity. Go check out these short story collections. What will our little green friends think of us when we finally do make it to space? Find out the answer in 2 books of human absurdity. Humans Are Weird, We Took a Vote, and Humans Are Weird, I Have the Data. Available on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Kobo, and Google Play.